All right, I'm going to admit it. I'm having a moment. Man, this sport is hard. um, I'm at a moment in time where I feel like all I'm doing is rehab. And I feel like I haven't been in the sport for a while, and it's making me bonkers. I'm so annoyed with constantly doing rehab. What you're listening to is Hammy is turned out in the arena, and right now he is just trying to get into trouble. He's like trying to knock stuff over. Anyway, one of the reasons, like probably the biggest reason why I'm having a moment is the vet is on her way out here to assess Hammy. We're going to ultrasound his legs, and we're also going to take some x-rays of his pastern angles and just kind of see what's what. But while I was waiting for this vet appointment, I went on Dr. Google, and never do this because it messes with your head. I went on Dr. Google and I was looking up kind of treatment plans. Like, I'm definitely game for PRP if that would help his suspensories. First of all, I should tell you what's going on. He knocked his front suspensory with his hind leg. We took off his shoes. Hammy, no. Go on, go on. Yeah, go play over there, please. He knocked his front leg. When we took off his shoes, he had a contracted heel, which is one of the reasons why we took off his shoes. Also, we weren't going to show him because we just gelded him. So it was just like the perfect time to take off his shoes. So, and then really work on like uncontracting that heel. But while he has this contracted heel without shoes on, he was taking a shorter step, and I think he smacked himself with his hind leg. And I think I know the exact moment he did it because I was asking from a walk to a trot, and he kind of just smacked it with his hind leg in a really kind of awkward position. So I think I know the exact moment he did it. But anyway, that right there, that's not a big deal. Hams, please stop. Please stop. Off you go. Where did I put that crop to tell you to go away? Go on. Go play, please. Go play. Yeah. So that one, not a big deal. The one, those are fun when they go up and down the road. The one that is kind of a bigger deal in my head is I would really like his hind suspensories to be a bit stronger because he has quite a bit of flexion in them, more flexion than I would like. He does stand with pastern angles like in a good position, but then sometimes he can relax his pastern angles, like when he relaxes his suspensory, and it can just drop a little bit. And I think I know why. I think when he was younger, Hammy, please stop. When he was younger, and he was a stud, so we know how to feed a young horse, don't get me wrong, but he was a young stud, and we've never had a young stud before, and I think we grossly underestimated how much protein he actually needed. And so I don't think he had enough protein when he was a yearling. Totally our fault, you know, like you can't be perfect all the time, and that is something that I think we just missed. So, yeah, it's really important that they get the proper nutrition when they're young horses. And so, yeah, I am definitely kicking myself that, like, I think potentially that was the reason why his hind suspensories are a little bit weaker, and like it's why his pastern angle looks a little dropped. But when I was on Dr. Google, I was like looking up other things, and in my head, I'm thinking, please, 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 please do not be DSLD, which is a degenerative disease. And over time, the pasterns just continue to drop and drop. I don't think it is because we have so many horses from this bloodline and none of the other ones have it, and it is a kind of a hereditary thing. Also, Dr. Google just messes with your head and you're like, oh, it's got to be that. but it'll nice to get a bit of answers today, because we are going to ultrasound those legs and just double check like the thickness of the suspensories and stuff like that. But I am all game for things like PRP, where we can potentially reduce the amount of like the length of rehab time. I have to stop him from doing what he's doing. One sec. Hamster. Hams, go on. Go on. I am smacking this thing and he's like casually walking away. Can you see him? Ay, ay, ay. So him not caring makes him an excellent show horse, but it makes him bad for when he's getting in trouble, because he's like, yeah, whatever. All right, well, I'm going to hopefully rest the noggin and not think about this vet appointment and like worst case scenarios, because it really just, it's just not that. Like, it's not a degenerative disease. It's just one of those, like, I think it was a nutrition problem when he was younger. All of this is fixable. You're good. You don't have to be crazy. But what equestrian doesn't go to this crazy place in their head, like, oh, what if it's this? Yeah, that probably means I'm normal. But yeah, so anyway, to get his hind end stronger, to get his SI stronger, we've been doing a lot of walk pulls. It just started this week actually, but before that we were doing like a lot of walk trot rides, just like rehabbing the foot, rehabbing the leg. And yeah, I'm really, really glad that we gelded him, because, okay, when he was a stud, I wouldn't have definitely not have let him do any of what he's doing right now. It's just bad horse trainer moments. He does it so like calmly and casually that you kind of let him get away with it for a minute and you're like, wait a minute, that's probably not good training. Ay, 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 Hams. He's got the coolest personality. I'm just so in love with him. Hey, hey. Every 2 seconds you're nosing something you're not supposed to nose. All right, well, I'm gonna put him back in a stall. Well, actually, I'll show you some of the walking that we did over poles, if I haven't already. I'm gonna put him back in a stall. I'm going to walk a different horse through those poles, maybe a couple of horses, just because it's so good for every horse. And I think it's gonna be just an exercise I'm gonna keep up in the arena for quite a while, because it's so good for them. I walked through a couple horses through it the other day, and I kid you not, I think it was yesterday, I woke up this morning and my hips were like, whoa, yeah, I definitely worked those out a bit. So it stretches and builds up that kind of muscle. It's such an amazing exercise. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that up in my arena, I think, for a bit. Well, quite a bit. All right, it'd be nice actually if the vet would just come right away. He's such a lunatic. This is my son's horse, Ozzie. And yeah, he suits the name. He's having a little bit of turnout. Okay, so the vet was here, and I have great news. Not like crazy definitive answers just yet, but we talked about the hind pastern angles and suspensories. And then we also talked about DSLD. And what we decided to do was today, she's going to come back, but today we ultrasounded that front leg that he hurt. And very minor, thank goodness, it's not a big deal. He just needs like a leg sweat on walk rides, but ultimately so minor, which is awesome. Ozzie, Ozzie. So that's really, really great news. Then we talked about DSLD. And while we were ultrasounding that front leg that he hurt, he didn't necessarily have the patterns on the ultrasound of DSLD. My vet wants to come back in 2 weeks and like really kind of do like a workup. But right now it just looks like this is just like a front leg tendon issue. She for sure agrees with me that protein as a youngster would have, could have caused some issues with suspensories. So come on, please don't play with that. So, I mean, things are looking good. We're not saying like right now that it isn't DSLD, but very much not looking like that, but a full workup to come on that. The other thing that makes it, like there's a couple factors that make it look like it's not that, is that that front leg ultrasounded super normal, which is awesome. The other thing is this is a bloodline we know really, really well. There's a ton, like this is a breeder who there's multiple, I mean, like hundreds of his babies in this area. And so the fact that he's the only one with drop tendon really makes it, okay, so if he's the only one, then it's probably not hereditary. And then it could be, I think she said the word was congenital, where like something happened as a youngster that could bring it on. So that like, it wouldn't be hereditary, it would be more like something that could have happened to bring on something like drop pasterns. So long story short, we're gonna come up with an amazing plan for him and get him all sorted out. Things are looking good, and yeah, I can kind of rest my mind. I'm especially resting my mind because that ultrasound of that leg that it was even hurt, that everything looked normal, which is good, or normal so far. Yeah. Whew. Big load off. He is trying to break things. Okay, so he's not quite a horse, he's not quite a pony, he's kind of that like in between hony stage. And he's a really cute mover, but he is 90% lunatic, 10% hunter. He's the most fun you could possibly have on a horse, but man, oh man, does he ever make you crazy. Hey, Oz, your every day has to be fun day. Anyway, he's having a bit of arena turnout. We are building some new turnouts right away. We just had to finish our second cut hay season because for whatever reason, hay season decided to go into October this year. So now that that's done, it's full out force on the on the fencing. Here's some cool news. I'm talking about in my past blogs about adrenals. Is we are going to take some time off this weekend. You might have heard before we were planning actually a trip out to our friend at Clear Lake, and then a month from now, hey, that's my water bottle. A month from now, we're actually on our way to San Diego to visit some of Justin's friends. Justin lived in California for a number of years, so we're gonna. My horses are such delinquents. Like, it's usually just when I'm filming because I'm not paying close enough attention to them, but okay, I shouldn't say that. Ozzie's always a delinquent. Hey, mister. He is one of those, he's never gonna be for sale because he's owned by my son. But man, oh man, does that horse make me crazy. Anyway, we're gonna go out to San Diego and actually have like a trip with just Justin and me. It's going to be so much fun. I'm excited for that. That is the new spiel. Very, very, very happy that worst case scenario is very, very likely not the case. Your brain is just going to dumb places. Oh, what if it's this? It's probably not. All right, so I'll let that moment from this morning completely pass. He's fine. We're good. Oswald, please stop.